Greetings, this is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct from Black Facts Headquarters Central this evening with another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. And you know what time it is. You know where we're at, so there's no need for me to give you no quiz. You know we're getting ready to tell another scary story. But before we do, let's go ahead and set the stage. First thing we need you to do is that same old thing we ask you to do every night. Go ahead and subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel right here on YouTube. And once you've done that, we want you to go ahead and ponder our question of the day. Words of wisdom for today are, when faced with the decision of life and death, which should you be brave enough to choose? When faced with the decision of life and death, which should you be brave enough to choose? What will you choose? That one was kind of strange. I think I might have been a little asleep when I wrote that one. When faced with a decision of life and death, which will you be brave enough to choose? Which will you? Okay, we'll do it that way. Which will you be brave enough to choose? You be brave enough to choose. Okay, there we go. Now, good one. All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, let's continue on with our little dance. All right, and here we go. Today, we're going to finish off a story we started last night. And if we have enough time, we'll start a whole new, fresh story. But in the meantime, let's get started with our slideshow of the day. Slideshow of the day, of the day, of the day. This story is called The First Ones, about Nehanda and Chaminuka. Nehanda and Chaminuka. And these are two traditional stories from Zimbabwe about real people. They are not fairy tales. So even though they may sound kind of spooky, they're as true can be. So let us see what we have in store for thee tonight. The first Chaminuka. There lived a man in Chegutu area whose real name was Suru, but people called him Chaminuka, for he was a famous Nyanga, or spirit medium. He had great powers over both men and animals, and he was able to cure sickness both of the mind and of the body by means of rare wild plants. These he gathered himself at the right seasons and prepared with care and wisdom. He could also foresee the future and was said to be able to call down rain in any season. He was a man highly respected and revered. Chaminuka kept tame pythons and other snakes, none of which ever harmed him. In the evenings, wild antelopes and birds would come in from the bush to be fed with a little grain and to play fearlessly round his huts. His great bull, Mindu Zapazi, was also known and seemed to understand all Chaminuka said to him, following him around, lying down, rising, and trotting forward at his command. Chaminuka was well known and trusted by the king, Lobangula, who often asked his advice. It was also said that the great hunter, Frederick Courtney Sellis, never went after elephants without discussing and planning the hunt with this wise Nyanga. However, a great man will sometimes make enemies, and one of the tribesmen was jealous of Chaminuka's powers. He went to Lobangula with an accusation that Chaminuka was practicing witchcraft and that he had caused the death of his wife. Unwilling to believe him, Lobengula sent for Chaminuka to come and answer these complaints, pretending that it was only to be a friendly visit. I shall not go to Bulawayo, said Chaminuka, for if I do, I know I shall not return. But wait, tell the king that other visitors will arrive in 8 years' time, and they will build for themselves white houses. The year was 1883, and we know that in less than 8 years this prophecy came true. Not long after this, Chaminuka and his wife, Bavea, and 2 of their sons were walking near Shangani River when they saw a party of Lobengula's warriors approaching. Bavea had once been an Amandebele captive, and she whispered in terror to her husband, "Run, run, they're going to kill you. I see blood in their eyes." "I am too old to run," said Chaminuka. "If my time has come, I am not afraid to die." But his sons were young, and he told them to creep away through the bushes and warn his people. Quadzi, the elder son, was seen and wounded in the leg, but he managed to escape and hid himself in a cave nearby. Bute, the younger boy, could run as fast as a charging leopard, and he was soon out of sight. Now the warriors had reached Chaminuka, where the old man sat calmly on a rock, playing his mbira, his wife, at his side. With shouts and threats, the soldiers charged forward, stabbing him with their spears, but the spear points bent, and the heads of the spears fell off, doing no damage at all. Now those who had guns fired their bullets, which rained down like hailstones, none of them even touching Chaminuka's feet. Gazing quietly at the astonished warriors, Chaminuka himself told them that he had long known that he could not be killed by any means but one. Only if a harmless child, a young boy who had never known hate, should strike him, then would he die. The warriors fetched an innocent lad to whom they made believe that it was all a game. They told him to strike the Nyanga just in play. This he did, and the great Chaminuka died unresistingly. Still half afraid, the warriors came forward to cut from Chaminuka's body the heart and liver, as was their custom, believing that from these parts strong medicine might be made. They took Bavea prisoner, tying her hands and leading her away to Chitunguiza to watch the destruction of her family and her kraal. When they reached the kraal, another surprise awaited them. The fleet-footed Bute had been in time, taking their belongings and their cattle with them. The people had fled up into the hills to hide. There was nothing left but the empty huts to which they had set fire before they left. Bavea was taken to Bulawayo, where she was able to convince Lobengula that Chaminuka had never been his enemy, but was a man of peace and a wonderful healer, no killer, all his life. Some say that Bavea was set free. Others say that she escaped. But we know that 5 years later, as a very old woman, she was living in Lomagundi, where she was visited by an old friend, the hunter, Salas. It was to him that she told this story, and he wrote it down. Now we have passed it on to you to tell somebody else, and then have them tell somebody else. Much later, it came to the ears of the famous poet, Arthur Shirley Cripps, who recorded it in a new form as a long and beautiful prose poem. So in different ways, for over 100 years, the well-loved Nyanga has been remembered and revered as he still is to this day. And that, my friends, is the story of the Rainmaker, Chamanuka, or as some people like to call him, Chamanuka Ni Mambo. That is his story. So I hope you enjoyed the story tonight. It was not as long as some of our stories have been known to be, but we're gonna break off right here, and hopefully our live stream maintained itself on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it did on Facebook. We've been having problems all day working with these live streams, and we've tried just about everything, but we have yet to actually get all of our problems solved here. We see we're still getting error messages over here, but we shall see. If you have experienced any difficulties receiving our transmission tonight, let us know. If you didn't receive it at all, let a friend know so that they can let us know. But whatever it takes, we're going to get this whole thing solved so that we can get back on track and continue telling our nightly stories. In the meanwhile, all you little children out there need to do what you know you need to do. Do I have to say it? Yes, I do. Take your little head and put it on your little pillow, on your little bed. Close those your eyes while you wait on that sun to rise. And when you feel those sunbeams beaming down on your eyes, you'll know that it's time for you to rise and shine, old children of mine. So, enough said for tonight. Go ahead and do your thing. Please don't forget, you adults out there, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel right here on YouTube. Peace out with justice, no doubt.